folks love their silver and black. They are fired up as their Raiders get set to face off with the Kansas City Chiefs. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. First carry for Josh Jacobs. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
And there's a typical run by Josh Jacobs, one where as a defender, you have to make a decision about how you approach him because he's awfully physical with the ball in his hands. 12 touchdowns on the ground last year after 7 as a rookie, and he was a 1,000-yard rusher in each of his first 2 seasons. Wouldn't surprise me, with enough touches, he can easily crack the 1,500-yard mark.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a carry for Jacobs. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
They'll run on 1st down. Jacobs. 43 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. On the handoff, this is Jacobs. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2. This defense for the Chiefs, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now a give to Jacobs running right. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
So often you hear that pep talks don't really work in the heat of the battle. But collectively, this defense has to say to each other, we've been on our heels this whole first drive. This is where we need to dig in. And they got a nice stop right there for a loss on 1st and goal.
On 2nd down, it's Drake. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, and now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
How about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield, and spills the play.
Yeah, he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
And Hill will opt for the touchback. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. Yannick Ngakoue able to record his 5th sack of the season.
We talked about prior to the game, and it played out right there on the first play, didn't it? This offensive line is going to have his hands full all night long.
Now, you often speak of scripts to start a game. Does this mean that play number 2, they're going to go off the script a little bit?
Yeah, what's interesting is that most people, when they script now, they actually script those contingencies in case they can't run the play they want to. It's long distance now. Let's go to that play.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. Now they'll throw with Mahomes. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
It is 3rd down.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And the Raiders are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. What a start defensively. Your offense goes out, gets the touchdown, and then you get the interception. Just perfect.
How about the discipline that they showed on defense? Because after the offense scored to go up 7-zip, you would think they might be a little extra aggressive trying to get back at them. Instead, they read their keys well. When they took the shot downfield, they were more than prepared for that one. This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Running is Jacobs, and he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
That's caught by his tight end, Foster Moreau. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. 3-0 after one on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Jacobs from the gun. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Well, you talked about the need for them to establish the run early. They've been able to do that here in the first half.
And that means that the whole offense has adopted that attitude and that persona. We're going to take care of this young quarterback. Let's all get together and run it and take the pressure off.
2nd down, Jacobs once more. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 81 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and turn his legs for a really nice pickup.
On 1st down, it's Jacobs. He will push his way down to about the 14. It's Melvin Ingram on the tackle.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Herbert working the middle here. That's complete to Moreau, the tight end. And the Raiders are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
They'll try again. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Raiders add on to their lead. A solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there. Each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
An extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. Kick this one away, and off it goes. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Nothing for him yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And going deep for Hill. This is intercepted. Picked up by Trayvon Mullen. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess that allows for extra yardage on the return.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Herbert. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
First and goal at the 7-yard line.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. 108 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign. 2nd and goal from the 1. Now a toss to the left for Jacobs. And this is not going to do it as he's stopped at the 2-yard line. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. They'll run it with Jacobs. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Carlson now to add the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? And maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Mahomes going to throw. Swinging this out for Pollard. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
A 7-yard gain on play. And it's 3rd down.
Remaining in this first half of football. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Throwing is Mahomes on third. Quickly to Kelsey. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
2nd and 5. It'll be a handoff to Pollard. And that's going to be a Chiefs first down as the tackle made at about the 43-yard line. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On play action, it's Mahomes. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. They overloaded that time of the safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. From midfield, here's Mahomes. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
7th play of this drive coming up, and a long way to go on 3rd down. Now Mahomes. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 21. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. First and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an option. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the 1st down sack. Mahomes, and going deep for Hill. And this is caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Chiefs football to begin quarter number 3, and they trail here as we are back underway now on EA Sports. Hill is going to take it out of the end zone. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times.
And he lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
To throw again on second down. Mahomes, nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. Dancing to his left. Into the second. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Raiders pick it up. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. Well, if these guys wanted to get back in this game, they needed an almost perfect second half, and down 3 scores. A lost fumble here certainly doesn't fit into that plan.
That reminds me of my plan in college to get an A on the papers I turned in, but that didn't work out too well either. Too many mistakes by both of us. I mean, that's just pure and simple. And that's why that's exactly where they are in this ball game. They're going to need a huge turnaround if they want to try and win this one.
And they'll begin by running the option. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
On second down, Jacobs. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. They'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 yards on back-to-back plays there, and that's another first down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there. Forced the ball free, and it's second down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Going on the ground with Jacobs. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 136 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
1st and 10 at the 15-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Jacobs now. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
They're a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They run it with Jacobs. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. They go with Jacobs. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. Jacobs will take this one in for a Vegas touchdown. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, he's got him in the lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.